Saul, why are you persecuting me, Saul? Who are you? I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. Get up, enter the city of Damascus. You will be told what you are to do.
Praise the Lord. I'll start with the prayer of Jeremiah. That's Jeremiah 1:6 onwards. Lord, put forth your hand and touch my mouth and put your words in my mouth. Today I'm going to talk about God's call. Throughout the Bible, we see God calling different people. First he called Noah, then he called Abraham, then he called Moses, then he called David, then he called Solomon, then he called all the prophets. When we come to New Testament, he called Mother Mary, then he called John the Baptist, he called his disciples, he called his apostles, so on and so forth. And in our individual life, we have our own respective calls. We are called as daughters, as wives, as mothers, as grandmothers, so on and so forth. And in our professional life, we are called as doctors, as engineers, as teachers, as farmers, as nurses, so on and so forth. Each call has its own value. Each call has its own dignity. And one call is not superior to another. In God's eyes, each call is unique and each has its own value and dignity. And your reward in heaven is based on how well you lived your life here. Today I am going to talk about a special call. That is a call to become a priest or a nun. The reason for this session is my daughter. She will be 13 years old in another few months. She is a 7th grader and she is spiritually inclined. And she is a regular altar server. So few months back, she came and told me, Mama, I think God is calling me to be a nun. What do you think? If I choose that, will you be happy or will you be sad? I told her, I'll definitely be happy for you. But right now, you are in the best state of your mind. You are going for regular mass, you are a regular altar server, you are reading Maria Waldorta, and you are in the best state of your mind. But I want you to wait and discern whether the call is from God. If the call is from God, you will have a constant love within your heart. You will have a constant fire within your heart. It is like the fire that Moses saw in the Mount of Horeb, the fire that burns but that doesn't consume. So you will have that fire within your heart. So if you have that love within your heart and if God is your first priority, then you can discern that the call is from God. Second thing I want you to consider is you should know the value of this call. You should know the worth of this call. You said when you are in the altar, you feel a magnetic attraction towards God. But here, when you consecrate your life to God, you become the altar itself. God will come to your heart and He will stay there. So you should know the value of the call. Because we are serving a God who is infinite love, who is infinite sacrifice, who is infinite wisdom, who is infinite compassion, who is infinite power. No one can match His love and His compassion and His sacrifice and His power. So you should stand in awe before him. So you should know the worth of the call, and God should become your first priority. As the first commandment says, "Hear, O Israel, love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might." Like that, you should be able to love God, and God should become your first priority. For anything or everything, you should turn to God. You should not turn to me or to your father. So God should become your first priority. If these two criteria are met, then you can go for that, and I'll be happy for you. You ask me whether I'll be sad. Yes, I agree. There is a bit of sacrifice in that. But that sacrifice increases the value of the vocation. That sacrifice increases the value of your consecration. So you shouldn't worry about that. You shouldn't worry whether we'll be happy or sad. Even if we disagree, you should go for that, because God's call and His purpose takes precedence over parents' will. His call and His will takes precedence over parents' will. So you should go for that. And in any case, when you surrender your life to God, you will hear a still small voice that Elijah heard at the Mount of Horeb. Let me just read that. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 11 onwards. And he said, "Go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains, and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake, and after the earthquake a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire a still small voice." Yes, the still small voice that Elijah heard at the Mount of Horeb, that still small voice will talk to you and will guide you in paths eternal. Thank you. Thank you for watching The Living Waters. If you are here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, or prayer requests, email us at info@thelivingwaters.life. We would love to hear from you. God bless you all. Thank you.